This is my evening video blog, and I want to welcome you to it. Tonight I want to talk about Berkshire Hathaway. Say, well, that's not a cryptocurrency, that's a stock. Yes, it is a stock. And I want to talk about it because it is a high-flying stock. It is the Warren Buffett stock. And if you had bought a lot of it, well, depending on how old you are, if you were old enough at that time to buy Berkshire Hathaway, you would be a very, very, very wealthy individual right now, probably not even watching me or anything else at this time. You would probably be on the beach somewhere, kicking back and relaxing, right? And here's something else. I wouldn't blame you. But chances are you didn't acquire Berkshire. You could have picked it up for just a few bucks back then in the mid-60s. Now, Berkshire Hathaway had been in existence way before Warren Buffett took it over. As a matter of fact, it went back for many, many, many decades, even into the back in the 1800s, if I understand it correctly. It's a textile company, and Buffett felt like that he could do something with it. And he did, and he has been quite the revolutionary, quite an influential figure in the financial world. Now, Berkshire Hathaway is the world's largest, at least that's what they say, financial services company. But how much does one share of Berkshire actually cost? Well, I was curious about this, so I got online, and you can do this. You can get on CNBC or any of the sites that can give you the latest in stock prices. And let me just say this. I'm talking about this because I want to put some things in perspective. That's why I'm doing this video and why I'm talking about Berkshire Hathaway. So I'll tie it all together momentarily. But according to the NYSE, or the New York Stock Exchange, which you can find, like I said, on all the major websites like CNBC, one share of Berkshire will cost you nearly $255,000 US dollars. As a matter of fact, at the time of this recording, it would cost you $254,965 US dollars. Oh, there's one other thing to it. It's not divisible like Bitcoin is. In other words, you can't buy so many Satoshi. You cannot get 0.1 Berkshire Hathaway. They don't do it that way. You have the money to buy it, or you don't. That's just the way it works. That's the old system. A system that is set up for the very elite, or those who were able to position themselves way, way back in the day, and now they consider themselves elite. Now, I know we have a Bitcoin, you could say a Bitcoin aristocracy, or the Bitcoin aristocrats, if you will, the ones who got in early and hold great sums of wealth. And, you know, I take my hat off to you. Actually, I don't have a hat to take off, but you get the idea. Usually, a lot of times I wear a cap, you know, when I am in that kind of that baseball mood. But seriously, I added a little humor there. But in all seriousness, you did well if you got in Bitcoin. But the point I want to make is we cannot change the past because a lot of us didn't get in Bitcoin early, or we got into it a little bit, but not enough, or whatever the case may be. You can't change the past. You can only change the present to change the future. And I want to say this, and these opinions are strictly my own, so I'm just defining it that way. When I get on one of the cryptocurrency websites that display the current pricing, and I'll just get on a site, coincap.io. It has pretty good real-time information. Bitcoin's market cap is about 1/10 of what Berkshire Hathaway's is. And you say, well, that's only 1/10. Yeah, but Bitcoin's been around for just a handful of years, and Berkshire has been around for a whole lot more like 50 years. So when people say that Bitcoin could reach $100,000, $500,000, or even more, do you really believe that they're talking out of their heads? Is that really so hard to wrap our minds around? And if Bitcoin has the potential, and underscore that and stress that, potential, I'm not saying that it will, but if it has the potential of doing that, then is it possible that other formidable cryptocurrencies, or altcoins as some like to refer to them as, could do something on a similar level? Again, I'm not saying that they will. It's not my place to make that judgment call. But at the same time, these are some things that we have to think about, because as I look at everything, as I'm looking at all these cryptocurrencies ticking away, even as we speak, they hold something more unique, something more exciting than even some of the high-flying stocks that are on the market, on the NYSE right now. And that's why I brought up the big one, Berkshire Hathaway. It's a big one. And hey, I'd love to own a share of it, but I don't. But I see the direction that the cryptocurrency market is headed. And we have talked about why the market is so powerful right now. The fiat system is failing. That is a big part of it. But I also, and I've discussed that, and I also talked about in one of my video blogs, actually earlier today, this morning, how dApps are changing the entire landscape. And we need to think about that. So there are these driving forces that are pushing cryptocurrencies to the next level, bearing in mind that most of the world doesn't even have a clue that cryptocurrencies even exist. You ask most people, have you heard of Warren Buffett? Have you heard of the stock exchange? Yeah, they have. And most people have something called a 401k, where they've got some type of stock or some type of fund that is a part of their 401k, their nest egg. And good for them. That's great. But I would just kind of close out this video by saying this. If, and I stress that if Berkshire Hathaway, the big Warren Buffett company, did all of this knowing what they do and the leadership they've had, which has been very, very good, very solid. then what is to, and this is just my question, what is to keep Bitcoin from going and not just Bitcoin, but essentially all of the cryptocurrencies that have some type of something to offer this world, dApps being a big part of that. What's to keep any of these cryptocurrencies from performing potentially in the very same way? Oh, but there's one difference. The restrictions, all of the restrictions that the is it the SEC? Yeah, the Security and Exchange Commission dictate are not in place in the same way. That there's more of a free flow, a more free flow of the markets. And when you look at stocks like Berkshire, any stock for that matter, you have those who have great controlling interest. Warren Buffett controls 1/3 of Berkshire. Think about that. Is that a type of centralization? Well, in a sense it is, because you have a controlling force. Whereas with the cryptocurrency market, sure, there are those that control, or not control, there are those that may be positioned in a big way, but it doesn't have an impact on the overall system as a whole. And that's important. This is why I believe the cryptocurrency market will succeed. And again, I stress these are my opinions. This is why I believe that decentralized applications will prevail and will turn the technological sector upside down. Because you're going to have a system with such a high level of redundancies. In other words, backup systems upon backup systems upon backup systems to prevent failures. We don't want failures. We do not want systems to fail. We want things to succeed. We want to be able to have backup plans. I want to know that we can have reliability. So moving forward, this entire blockchain-based system is going to perform brilliantly. I believe it will. I believe it will. I believe that we are the future. That we are the future, and the old system is slowly, well, to say it's fading away, I think is a bit of a strong statement. But it is being eclipsed, that's maybe the better word, by the blockchain system, which powers cryptocurrencies and everything else as well. Billions of dollars are flowing into this market just about every single day, every single week, and it's a grand time right now. So these are just some of my thoughts. Bottom line, if these big names like Berkshire can do it, then what's to keep any of these cryptocurrencies from doing something pretty extraordinary as well? Time will tell. Time will tell. But in the short time that has existed, and it's done some pretty amazing things. Now, when it comes to investing, obviously, consult with your financial advisor to get expert financial advice. But I'm just sharing with you some of my thoughts and opinions, and I hope you appreciate those. I know you do. Well, I want to invite you to upvote and re-steam this. Feel free to comment below. And don't forget, you can follow me at Breaking Tonight, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.